In 2001, Six Flags America debuted its last original roller coaster, the Vekoma Flying Dutchman Batwing. This roller coaster was the third and last Vekoma Flying Dutchman to open, and it quickly became one of the park's standout attractions. Batwing stands 115 feet tall, has over 3,300 feet of track, reaches a top speed of 50 miles per hour, and has 5 inversions, including a forceful vertical loop. When it is operating, this coaster has some great moments and is a lot of fun. It is currently the only operating Vekoma Flying Dutchman. That will change in November 2025 though, when it closes forever. Is this ride worth riding? Find out in this video, which is our full-length, in-depth review of Batwing and our comments about what you can expect if or when you go to Six Flags America to ride this coaster. Now, let's get into the review. While the Swiss manufacturer Bolliger & Mabillard has become synonymous with the flying coaster with coasters like Superman Ultimate Flight and Manta, it was Vekoma that beat Bolliger & Mabillard to the punch with its Flying Dutchman model. The prototype Vekoma Flying Dutchman first debuted at Paramount's Great America in the year 2000 as Stealth, later relocated to Carowinds and renamed Nighthawk, which operated until the end of the 2024 season. The prototype Flying Dutchman Nighthawk had 5 inversions, including a double corkscrew ending right before the final brake run. For all intents and purposes, Nighthawk was a decent ride and a good first attempt at a large-scale flying coaster from Vekoma. In 2001, after tweaking and adding to the layout, Vekoma built 2 more Flying Dutchman coasters. One opened in May 2001 at Geauga Lake as X.F.L.Y, later relocated to Kings Island and renamed Firehawk, and the other ultimately went to Six Flags America and opened as Batwing in June 2001. While they would have the same first 2/3 as Nighthawk, Firehawk and Batwing would have a slightly different and longer layout. More on those in a moment. Batwing is located in the Gotham City section of Six Flags America, which is towards the very back of the park. You actually have to walk past and underneath the park's Intamin hypercoaster Superman Ride of Steel just to get to the ride. Since it is located towards the very back of the park, Batwing is a hike to get to. You have to walk past Shipwreck Falls, the park's Chutes water ride, underneath Wild One, past Joker's Jinx and Wonder Woman Lasso of Truth, and through Superman's entrance plaza just to get to the pathway that leads to Batwing. As you reach that pathway, you will see Batwing's name and logo, as well as a large image of Batman using his cape as wings. You go down the pathway towards Batwing, which actually looks like a coaster just plopped down in a field. There is no other attraction close to Batwing other than Superman. While there is nothing else near the ride, Batwing's location offers some great unobstructed views of the ride's entire layout. As you approach the ride's queue, you will not see much theming. Other than some cutouts of DC Comics characters, there is no additional theming. As you reach the ride platform, you will hear some Batman-themed music and see one of Batwing's 3 6-row 24-passenger trains, though Batwing operates with only 1 train these days. Unlike the trains on the Bolliger & Mabillard flyers, where riders board the trains similarly to an invert, riders board Batwing's trains facing towards the back of the train. Batwing uses a different type of restraint. It uses a padded vest, lap bar, and shin guard combo restraint. It really is an odd restraint, which takes a bit of time to check. However, once you have boarded your train, secured your restraints, and cleared dispatch, the seats will lower into the riding position, which is laying down instead of the B&M flying position, and the trains proceed into a right turn followed by a left-hand turn towards the lift hill to begin your ride. The first thing you will notice about Batwing that is different from other roller coasters and other flying coasters is you go up the lift hill facing the sky. On sunny days, the climb up the lift hill can be slightly irritating as you are facing directly at the sun. At the top of the lift hill, you take a left-hand turn, flip into the flying position, and go down Batwing's 103-foot first drop sloped at 33 degrees. This first drop gives an ever so slight weak pop of airtime for those sitting towards the back of the train. At the bottom of the first drop, you then pull up into a rightward high banking horseshoe turn, which pulls some good forces across the train, though the forces are a little stronger towards the back of the train. As you come off the horseshoe, you fly slightly downwards before taking a right-hand turning fly to lie, followed by a forceful vertical loop. This vertical loop pulls some good positive G-forces, especially for those sitting towards the back of the train. As you come out of the vertical loop, you pull up into a leftward turning lie to fly, followed by a right-hand slightly banked turn. You fly into consecutive inline twists, followed by a right-hand slightly banked helix, which glides into a fly-to-lie and into the final brake run to complete your ride. When it is open, Batwing is one of Six Flags America's best roller coasters and a great old-school Vekoma roller coaster. It has a fun layout and pulls some good positive G-forces. While the horseshoe turnaround has some nice whip, Batwing's standout moment is its vertical loop. It pulls up to 4.3 Gs and you feel those G-forces. While it pulls some good positive G-forces, the vertical loop's forces are not as strong as those on the B&M Flyer's pretzel loops. That said, Batwing's ride experience is quite good. That is in part because of the improvements Vekoma made to the Flying Dutchman layout after debuting the now defunct Nighthawk. While the first two thirds were the same, Nighthawk's and Batwing's final thirds differed slightly. After the vertical loop, Nighthawk had consecutive corkscrews, followed by a fly-to-lie into the final brakes. For Batwing and Firehawk, Vekoma opted to replace those corkscrews with inline twists, which offer riders a more graceful transition after exiting the vertical loop and before going into that helix before the final brake run. From a ride experience perspective, these changes make Batwing quite enjoyable. And contributing to that ride experience is just how smooth Batwing is. For an old school Vekoma, Batwing is not only one of the smoothest rides at Six Flags America, it is one of the smoothest Vekomas, period. Aside from the ride experience, Batwing's operations are quite interesting. It currently operates with only one train, despite having 3 total trains and a dual loading station. Because of the ride's restraint type, Batwing's operations are also slow. Much like a Bulger and Mabillard Flyer, rides that also typically have slower operations, operators at Batwing have to check a few different parts of the restraint. The vest restraints, which actually lock into place, and the lap bars, which also have shin guards. This multi-step restraint check definitely slows things down. And since Batwing has such slow operations, this is definitely a ride that you will want to hit as soon as it opens. Unlike the other coasters at the park, Batwing typically opens at 12 p.m. To avoid later in the day lines, definitely hang out around Superman so when the ride opens, you can head there immediately. If you get there early enough, you can get a couple of laps in different rows, including the front row before the lines. As the last operating Vekoma Flying Dutchman, Batwing is certainly a unique roller coaster. If you have not done Nighthawk or Firehawk, this is a must ride before it most likely closes at the end of the park's 2025 operating season. Nighthawk was a decent roller coaster at Carowinds before its surprising closure after the 2024 season. And while we now have Orion, the Bulger and Mabillard Giga at Kings Island in Firehawk's place, there is nothing replacing Batwing. Its likely permanent closure marks the end of a good roller coaster and the first large-scale attempt at a flying roller coaster. While Vekoma has resurrected and re-envisioned its flying coaster, Batwing is a part of roller coaster history and definitely worth riding at least once. The last operating Vekoma Flying Dutchman is fun and enjoyable. While it has some graceful moments, Batwing pulls some strong positive G-forces on the horseshoe and vertical loop. This coaster is one of Six Flags America's best rides, and it will be sorely missed if it actually closes permanently at the end of the 2025 season. For our final score, we give Batwing a 7.5 out of 10. Its unique ride experience makes it a must ride at least once. So, let us know in the comments below if you have had the chance to ride Batwing at Six Flags America, and if so, what you think about it. Will it get relocated? And if you enjoyed this video or are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for more coaster content like this. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more coaster reviews and amusement park content coming soon to Coaster Adventures, and we hope to see you in the next one.